Okay, people. So I think you know by now when the AJ symbol goes up, I gotta answer that, right? So you know what I mean? When AJ was doing me a solid recently, you know what I mean? Hey, if you ain't watched it, go check that interview because it is fire. It will definitely give wannabe publicists, PR people, it will give you a real valuable insight and some guidance, man. So AJ's legit, right? But yo, she threw the signal up, man. It was like, yo, I feel you want to check this out, right? And have conversations. And when she says shit, it's always correct. So I went and checked out this new documentary called Stay Alive. Right? I had no real clue what this was going to be. I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what to expect. You know, but whew, it's interesting, man. It's powerful, right? It's directed by Paul Emami. Um, it is written by Rayko Mark Goulston, Kevin Hines, and Frank S. Kilpatrick. It is produced by Linda Kilpatrick, executive produced by Frank Kilpatrick. Music is from Rayko and Frank Kilpatrick. Cinematography is Samuel Amin. It's edited by Dylan Kilkenny. Uh, Yazi Meshkat handles like makeup. Brian Barber, he does the sound. We got Matt Grace and Glyndon Kenzie helping out with some camera work. Editorial, David Gratterol, right? And other sound and music and stuff. We got Arian Ballon, Robert Belhill, and Arif Hudzik, and Tiana Damasco is also a valuable part of the production, right? So, yo, Stay Alive's informal and interactive approach to exploring suicide prevention will touch those in deep distress, as its unique perspectives inform those who love and support these individuals and engage everyone who wants to better understand the human condition, right? So that's the real kind of buzz about this. And I think one valuable thing, right? It's uh, it's a very different approach, right? Now, as I said, look, I came in, I wasn't really sure what to expect, right? What I was going to be getting. And when you turn on and then you see, you know what I mean, these three people sitting around a table, you're like, wait, what? Huh? It's a documentary, but it's like a video podcast, right? So if you watch the JRE or you know what I mean, I say your mum's house, but there's no gross videos here. You know what I mean? But yo, you get this real like informative discussion, but it's just this human element, right? That's the thing that resonates. Now, there's some real like important information that they put out. I feel that people should, right? So the way they talk about this, you know what I mean? So they break it into on their mission statement, these three parts. So the need, suicide has become an epidemic, right? The US suicide rate has jumped some 30% from 2000 to 2016, according to the Centers for Disease Control. The reasons are complex: family fragmentation, social media overexposure, political polarization, opioids, and other life stressors all play apart. Stay Alive was developed in recognition of the challenges of traditional institutions in addressing all those in need of suicide prevention and care. Right, then it's the program. Stay Alive is a 75-minute documentary divided into two sections: understanding and helping. They offer education and guidance on the important subject of mental health and suicide prevention, as well as compassion and caring for those who are suffering and their loved ones. Stay Alive was designed for and recommended to individuals, families, schools, communities, social services, and churches, anywhere there is a need. And then we have the message. Stay Alive's message centers around the process of moving from despair, as in being seemingly un, un, ugh, unpaired with connection and a reason to live, to repair. To presenters do not shy away from challenging topics, and their profound personal disclosures and proven approaches make this program uniquely valuable and unlike any other. Support and resources are provided on the film's website. If you are someone you if you are or someone you know is in distress and or in urgent need of immediate medical assistance, please call 911 999 over here, folks. The new Lifeline code in the States, 988, or the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, which is 1-800-273-8255. I don't know the UK numbers, people, but you will be able to find those. Okay? So that's the big thing here. This is like such a interesting thing because it goes into right the stories of these people. Right, you got Kevin Hines, right? Kevin Hines, who tried to kill himself. You know, he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and survived. I mean, that is crazy, right? That is just be like doing it and surviving. And here's the thing, right? I've heard it so many times, you know, from people when you hear these stories of people that have survived attempts, that there is that deep despair, right? That kind of like, I don't know what to do, and I can't keep fighting. And then they make the attempt, and literally as soon as that happens, then it's actually, I no, this was wrong. I don't want to do this. Ah, fuck. Right? That's the crazy thing. That it would seem that most, and I say most, right? Because it's the thing you hear from all the survivors. So you imagine the people that don't survive have gone through a similar thing. But yeah, the majority of people seem to be like, oh, fuck. So I think it's vital that there are these sorts of resources for people to help, because there is this thing, right, when you're going through these dark moments, that it's like no one else can understand, right? No one else has been through this shit, or at least you don't know anyone else who has. So if there are these things, these conversations, these resources that show you others that feel the same way, others that have been through similar things, that can only help, right? There needs to be this honesty, and this straight honesty, right? This is some raw ass shit. This raw ass shit of them just talking about these things. And it's kind of hosted, right, by Mark, yeah, Dr. Mark Goulston, right? He kind of leads this conversation. And, he's a medical doctor and psychiatrist. He spent 25 years at UCLA, right? Putting in that clinician work, right? Trying to help on suicide prevention. So he definitely knows what he's talking about, right? He's written books, he's done his thing, you know? Um, so yeah, Mark, he knows what he's talking about, but is like a lot of times with things like this, you have a specialist like Mark, and they'll talk about these processes, they'll talk about this thing, but you're only getting that, right? And here he doesn't like want to take control. He doesn't want to hold the limelight. It's just this free flowing conversation. And he asks the right questions to get this information from Kevin and Rayko, you know, which is just so valuable, right? Now, Rayko, she's a vocalist, songwriter, guitarist. She's in a band, the Lolita Dark, right? And she's gone through her own dark times, right? So her and Kevin being able to share their experiences, right? Paint that picture of what it feels like in these particular moments, right? That's a huge thing here. Because I think anyone can kind of talk about, if you're stressed, if you feel down, if you're depressed. Not everyone can really paint a picture, can put someone in that frame of mind, right? Let you know what it's actually like. And that is the power of Stay Alive, because Kevin and Rayko do that and do that very well, right? So you understand what they must have been feeling through. And I think Kevin says at one point, right, that his dad asked a question, right? His dad asked, like, are you okay? And he's mad. He was like, oh, it's kind of mad. Because I'm like, well, surely you can see I'm not okay, right? Surely, how do you not know this? And he's, but he's just like, oh, actually, he asked if I'm okay, right? So he's done the thing. He's tried to open that door so you can then go, you know what, I'm feeling this. But I think sometimes when you're in these spaces that you think that people should know, right? Or ask specific questions, but people don't know those specific questions to ask. So when someone says what it might seem like a simple question, are you okay? You good? What's up with you? Then that is the opening. That is them reaching out, trying to help, And so it's interesting the way Kevin explains it all, and he tells you all of this. And it's kind of funny, right? So the way they're talking, because it is a lot of, I went through this pain. I hear your pain. I love you. I feel you. I feel like this very emotionally charged conversation, but you realize, right, that there are these coping mechanisms, these things that are now in place to try and appreciate these moments, try to appreciate others, right? Appreciate these sorts of conversations. You know what I mean? The power of what is being put out there. So you're listening to it all, and you do get taken over by this whole experience, right? By the vulnerability that is being shown. There is a music video on the website, which has been created by Rayko. Rayko's on it along with who's the other cat on the video? It is Robert Bayan, and it is this, like, there's these messages going through of like, yo, we can help you, like, just open up and all of these important kind of messages, but behind this the beat is great. I ain't gonna lie. The beat, like, you know what I mean? It sounds really good. So, but you can think, right? You might play it and just be enjoying the tune, but by osmosis, the messages that are being put out there can maybe permeate, right? Can actually do something, right? Let you know that there is this help, this love out there for you. So it's an odd one, right? Because you kind of feel like, well, how can that help, right? I mean, surely there's these other things it can do, but hey, it's all about trying to connect with people in different ways. So whether it's one of Dr. Goulston's books, whether it's the many talks Kevin Hines does, whether it's stay alive, you know, they like whatever it takes, right? Whatever can do the trick. That's the thing. The website has got a ton of resources, right? Like contact details for all these different organizations. I mean, there is a lot, right? Which, hey, a lot of times when a website will go, oh yes, there's like one or two, but there are ton, a ton. So whatever you might be going through, they give you a group, a number, a hotline that possibly can help, right? So this is, yeah. I mean, you're gonna watch this and you do feel odd afterwards, right? Yeah, when I say odd, I mean you're just like over, what I mean, overflown by these, thoughts, right? Of like, fuck, people going through this thing. Like, man, how can I try and spot these signs, right? How could I help? Right? Like, okay, so I should ask these questions. I should do this. I should look for this, right? Because you can guarantee one of your people's, right? Friends, family, whoever might be going through something, you know? So if people really mean something to you, ask those questions. Like, are you okay? What's up? You know what I mean? If you know they're usually a bubbly, vibrant person and one day maybe they're not, maybe that's because something. So, hey, ask the question, man. Like, listen, what is here? These guys, America, Japan, what I mean? But it's a universal message, right? It's a universal message. It's powerful, right? It's real powerful. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it might make you cry. It will definitely make you feel, but that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing. And hopefully, this is a conversation starter, the catalyst for change, people, right? And the big thing, the real big thing, hopefully, it will help you stay alive.